Hey boys and girls, and welcome to today's math lesson. So for today, we're going to be talking about fact families and part whole again. Okay, so let's go over our learning standard, our I can statement before we begin. So I can read and write numerals and represent a number of objects with a written number to 20. And then our other I can statement is I can count to 50 starting at any number less than 50. Remember, these are some review standards that we've been talking about that you learned last year. Okay, so before we begin, let's go ahead and do our number talk. So go ahead and get out your math notebook and a pencil, and you're going to do this with me. Alrighty, here's our objects. These are tally marks, okay? So I want you to go ahead and put that hand on your chest and think about some different ways you could count these tally marks. How could I count these tally marks? So if you need to, you can always pause the video and come back. But how can I count these tally marks? One way I thought of to count these tally marks is to count by ones. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the slash through would be 5. So I can count by ones. And I get 5. What's another way you can count these tally marks? Another way I thought of is I know that with 4 lines going up and down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the slash through, that means 5. So you could totally count by 5s and just know this is a group of 5. I know that's a group of 5. So I can count by 5s. So what I was explaining is that when you draw tally marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the line through is 5. So that's a group of 5. So if I wanted to make a group of 10, I would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? So, but this is the group of 5. So I counted by 5s. All right. So this is review from yesterday. But this is part whole. And remember, the whole is the biggest piece, the biggest number that you have. And the parts are the two numbers that you would put together or add together to make the whole. And you can also write this using number bonds. So remember, you have the big circle at the top and the two parts. Or you can have the big circle on one side and the two parts branching out. But for yesterday and today, we focused primarily on using this chart. So I want you to go ahead and get out your math notebooks and a pencil if you haven't already. And we are going to draw this chart on our notebooks together. So we're going to do this one together. Remember, you're going to draw a big rectangle, put a line across the top, and then a little line down the middle. And then I have the words written out, part, and whole, but you can always put P, P, and W as well. So let's say our numbers are 6, 1, and 5. So who remembers what the whole would be? We always want to start with the whole because it's going to help us out. What would the whole be for 6, 1, or 5? Think which one's the largest number. That's right, it's 6. So 6 is the largest number. Now, what is one of our parts? 1 is one of our parts. Now, 1 plus what number would equal 6? That's right. It is 5. So I'm going to take 5 and put 5 in my other spot. So I know that 1 plus 5 equals 6, or 5 plus 1 equals 6. That's an easy way to solve part whole. Alrighty. We are going to do another one together. okay? So I want you to go ahead. If you need to, you can always hit pause. So you have some time to draw this picture. You're going to draw this rectangle, put the line, put the other little line at the top, do a part, and a whole, or a P, and a W. And these are our numbers, 3, 10, and 7. So I want you to do this by yourself, okay? We're going to do it together, but I want you to do it by yourself. What would be the whole number? Go ahead and write it in your notebook. So that's right. The whole number is number 10 because it's the largest number. That's the whole number. 10 is our whole number. What is one of our parts? You go ahead and write in your notebook. That's right. One of our parts is 3. Now what I want you to do is write the next part. What is the next part? That's right. The next part, or the final part, is 7. We know that 3 plus 7, or 7 plus 3, equals 10. 10 is our whole number. These two parts, when added together, make this number. So these two equal 10. Okay? Great job. Alrighty. Now we are moving on to our fact families. So remember, fact families are when you take your 3 numbers with your part, whole, and you break them down into your addition equations and your subtraction equations. So let's go ahead and we're going to do this one together. Now, as you can see, I already drew my part, whole chart, okay? And I already have my equations here. Remember I told you that yesterday on a piece of paper, if you needed to while you did your seesaw activity, you could write down that part plus part equals whole, because it tells you where the numbers are supposed to go. And then whole minus part equals part. Because if you think about it, okay, before I even do this, I'm going to go back to this page. If my numbers were 3, 2, and 1, okay, and I would know that 2 and 1 are my parts and 3 is my whole. One of my equations would be 1 plus 2 equals 3. The other one would be 2 plus 1 equals 3. But question, can I have 2 objects and take away 1 object and get 3? So say I can't write this as 2 minus 1 equals 3. That's not correct, okay? Because if I have 2 circles, there's my 2 circles, and I take away 1, do I have 3 left? No, I only have 1. So this right here isn't correct, okay? So you have to make sure that you understand these 2 equations right here. You understand part plus part equals whole, and whole minus part equals part. So my numbers are 9, 3, and 6. We find our whole number first, okay? Don't forget, this is a part, this is a part, and this is a whole. So where's my whole number? Which one is it? 9, 3, or 6? That's right, it's 9. So I'm going to put 9 in my whole box. And then what's one of my parts? 3. And what's one of my other parts? 6. Perfect. Now, I'm going to do my addition equations first, okay? Because they're going to be the easiest. So knowing that this is part plus part equals whole, you might want to, when you write your fact families, and remember I said this yesterday too, if you're on Seesaw and it's too hard to do it on Seesaw, do it on a piece of notebook paper and take a picture. Because if it's easier for you to write these out and then write part, and whole where they're supposed to go, I get it. That's totally fine. And Mrs. Lockie gets it too. So if you need to, take a picture of it and upload it. No big deal. So our whole we know is 9. So I'm going to put 9 here, and this is also addition, and I'm going to put 9 here. Now, it says part plus part equals 9. So one of my parts is 3, and another part is 6. So 3 plus 6 equals 9. Now, am I going to write 3 plus 6 equals 9 again? No, I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to take this number and put it first. 6 plus 3 equals 9, okay? Because if you had, okay, so if this was circles and this was squares, this would be 3 circles plus 6 squares equals 9. Well, then this would be 6 circles plus 3 squares equals 9. So they both equal 9. You need to show both addition equations. Now, let's go to subtraction. Okay, so subtraction is whole minus part equals part. So we know our whole is 9. So we're going to put 9 here, okay? Minus one of our parts, 3, equals another part, 6. Now we know our 9 goes here because it's the whole number. Are we going to put 3 here again? No, that's right. We're going to switch it. So we're going to put 9 minus 6 equals 3. And this is your fact family for 9, 3, and 6. All right, now here's where the next one is. I want this one to do together because this one's a tricky one, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to write 303 at the top of your paper. I want you to draw your part whole chart, okay? And you might put in where your part and whole goes. And then I want you to make sure that you have these equations written on your paper. The part plus part equals whole, and the whole minus part equals part. So I want you to go ahead, pause this video, and record this into your notebook. So go ahead and pause it. All right, welcome back, boys and girls. So now that you have this all written in your notebook, we're going to go through and we're going to talk about what's the whole, what's a part, and what's another part. So our numbers are 3, 0, and 3. What is the largest number? What is the whole? Well, you have 2 numbers that are the same, 3 and 3. So these 3 are the same number, so one of them has to be the whole. So we're going to make this 3 over here the whole. Okay? Now, what is one of my parts? Right? One of my parts is 0. And what is one of my other parts? That's right, it is 3. So I now know my parts. 2 parts are 0 and 3, and a whole is 3. So remember, you might want to write the part plus part equals whole underneath each line to help you remember. So what did we say our whole was? Go ahead and write that after the equal sign. That's right. This is 3. Okay? So we know here for these addition equations, 3 is going to go after the equal sign. It's our last digit. It's our sum. Now, what is one of my parts? That's right. 0 plus 3. Okay? So one of my parts is 0, and another one of my parts is 3. 0 plus 3 equals 3. Now, am I going to write that again? 0 plus 3 equals 3. No, because you have to change it. So you're going to do 3 is one of my parts, plus 0 equals 3. Okay. You should have this on your notebook just like I do. Now, I'm going to do whole minus part equals part. So if you have to, go ahead and write that under your lines to help you out. Now, what is my whole number? That's right. My whole number is 3. 3 minus a part. What is one of my parts? 0. 3 minus nothing. 3 minus 0 equals what? My other part. That's right. 3. Now, I know my whole goes here. So this is 3 again. Am I going to do 3 minus 0 equals 3? No, I'm going to do my other part, 3 minus 3, right? Because if I have 3 circles and I want to take away 3, right? I'm going to have nothing left. I'm going to have 0 left. Okay, so that's how you solve a fact family with 0 in it. Okay, so great job, boys and girls. Your seesaw activity, you'll have 4 sets of fact families. Again, you can do it in your notebook if you need to. You do not have to do it on the seesaw template. You can take a picture of your work in your notebook and upload it directly on top of the template, because I totally understand doing it paper pencil. It's so much easier. So don't forget, I want to see on your notebook page either your part-whole diagram. Okay, I might want to see that. If you need that, put that on there. I definitely want to see your equations. Part plus part equals whole, and whole minus part equals part. Okay, and if you need to, you can write that underneath your lines that you do for your fact families. Okay, please do your best work. If you need to, you can always come back and rewatch this video. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.